Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video of Fox Flicks on BP Bludgeonor. Today we're checking out another vid from him to where he made even more spooky Ultra Beasts for the Halloween season. Note this is being recorded before October 31st, but by the time y'all see this, Halloween will have already passed. Let's just hop into it and check out these new Ultra Beasts.
Thrashinal, the Restraint Pokemon, aka UB Insanity. Lunastructor, the Asteroid Belt Pokemon, aka UB Collision. Expavoid, the Spectre Flame Pokemon, aka UB Illuminate. Hazmalt,
I remember these.
the Decay
I checked them out in my
Pokemon,
last video.
aka UB Corrosive. And Purgatorum. And can't do it. And Purgatorum, the Paralysis Pokemon, aka UB Torment. These 5 Ultra Beasts represent some of my deepest fears, earliest traumas, and unearthly experiences. And in the light of the witching hour, it appears the wormholes are set to once again open and bring forth a torrent of terror torn from my very
Show
thoughts.
us the new
So
monsters.
prepare and join us in yet another assault from some brand new spooky fiends from beyond our reality.
Yeah. Alright, let's do this. More Ultra Beasts.
Just like last Halloween, I'm celebrating the season with 5 Fakemon labeled as Ultra Beasts, all inspired by what scares me, or what used to scare me. I was kinda hoping to make this a tradition
Do it.
that I could do like every year, but making Ultra Beasts this time was actually a stretch. Turns out I went all in with the previous batch, meaning all my worst fears have actually been covered. In other words, I'm not nearly as hesitant with any of these beasties as I was with Hazmalt or Thrashinal. But on the bright side, you may agree with some of these fears, or at least appreciate the references.
Oh,
We'll
yeah, I
see.
mean, we
Let's just
probably
get into
can.
it. Gio, you want to
Show
pick
us
the
what
first
you
one?
got.
Oh no, it's not too bad. I just can't decide. Go ahead, spin the wheel.
Oh.
Spin the wheel, Gio.
Spin the wheel!
Spin the wheel!
Whoa! Relax, everyone.
Ooh, nice pick.
Ooh,
For this one,
goosebumps.
I had to wind the clock way back.
Now,
Back before
classic.
all you kiddies had the internet from the age of -3, all we had to look forward to was Fox Kids on weekends. I'm so lucky I had parents willing to sit through the earlier seasons of Pokemon, Flint the Time Detective,
What the-
Goosebumps, and the best of the
Ah,
best,
yes.
Donkey Kong Country.
I'd shower you with coconut cream pies.
Oh yeah, we should talk about Goosebumps.
Don't let my
Let's go back
ramblings
to
from the
Goosebumps.
last video about true horror games fool you. When I was a kid, I couldn't even get past the opening for Goosebumps.
Stupid dog! You made me look bad!
Ooga booga
Before the
booga
Thames
booga.
video logo and before the blob, there was the Goosebumps G, a shadow-like deity that indiscriminately corrupts everything it comes across, turning dogs into demons and billboard models into meth addicts. And hey, what else do we know that's shaped like letters and can influence anything and anyone around it?
Oh,
we
the
know that the
unknowns.
unknown are most capable when drawing off someone else's desires, and a single unknown is useless when alone, and it's also a safe bet that the unknown dimension is completely different to Ultra Space. So what would happen
I
if
mean,
an unknown was left to fend for itself
actually,
in
yeah.
the depths of space, living off whatever makes Guzzlord or Naganadel the way they are? I set out to answer that question myself and came back with UB Distorted, aka
love it.
Unleashed. Without the safety of its home or its fellow kin to control its power, a lone unknown was forced to survive in the wilderness of Ultra Space. In
I
these
love
harsh
it.
conditions, it pushed its power to influence the world around it without a host mind to latch onto. That way, it can corrupt other Pokemon to do its bidding or discourage them from attacking it. The added dragon typing is thanks to all the excess energy it's absorbed outside of its own domain, like Z Crystal energy or
Oh, yeah, that
Infinity
would make
energy.
sense.
I based its design off several cases of the letter G to make it vague but still keep the Goosebumps tie-in. I had a hard time deciding on its proportions. If it was as slimlined as regular Unknown and had a normal eye, it wouldn't look unique enough to be its own thing. I tried to make it bulgy to show a power overdose of some kind, but it looked like a lump of... well, it looked like a lump. So I settled on a makeshift...
What about making the eye vertical? Well, like it closed it that way instead of the signature. I mean, that could have been kind of cool.
jaw surrounding a portal on its tail, some extra appendages protruding from its back, and gave it some floating dust that could form braille shapes. I do hope that's enough to make it stand out. I know there are a lot
it's
of
not
unknown
bad.
Fakemon out there. For our next specimen, we'll be giving our old friend Expovoid another once-over. When I designed Expovoid, I decided it could use an evolution because it was a lot smaller and simpler than the others. If Poipole can evolve, so
nice.
can Expovoid. So let's give it an update, but first I want to go over its origins again for people who missed it the first time.
Go ahead.
Expovoid is based not only on an old Norfolk ghost tale, but also on my own encounter with a luminous spirit in the woods. The ghost story in question is called the Lantern Men, and describes several sightings of lantern-like orbs that glow in the dead of night and try to lure people to their deaths. Basically, it's the
evil wisp.
real-world equivalent of... Now, I can personally vouch for the story because a couple of years ago, I came across as what I could only describe as one of these lantern men. It was about a couple hundred meters from me when this bright blue light floated across the trees in dead silence, hovered in place about head height on the other side of a gate so I could get a good look at it, and then took off down a private path into the forest. So it was close enough for me to see that there wasn't a human attached to it, it was bright enough for me to know it wasn't just a firefly, and it was quiet enough to know that it couldn't have been a living being. It was mesmerizing. So I took this memory of mine and reinvented the folktale for 2-4 is not a ghost sighting, but a story of glowing beings from another world that lure people away to abduct them, as opposed to kill them. I made Expovoid pink to distance them from the source material, and decided to make them fire fairy. A lot of people told me I should have made this fire ghost, but the important thing I failed to impress upon last time was the distinction between Expovoid and its inspiration. It might be based on a ghost story, but I've turned the inspiration into an alien encounter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but if you ask me, that's another point in favor of not making it fire ghost. Anyway, we're here to evolve the little bugger. I went all Magneton mode with this and induced the evolution with a freak combination of a handful of Expovoid traveling through the same wormhole at once. Their bodies condense and fuse together, becoming the bigger and toothier UB-Candescent, otherwise known as Phantachasm. If Expovoid are the ones who lure people away, Phantachasm are the ones that do the abductions themselves. With their arms stretched out, Phantachasm can be mistaken for UFOs, although that does put them in conflict against Magnezone sometimes. By using their eye-hand things at the ends of their arms, they can carry up to 4 Expovoid to generate a more blinding light. It's said that if you stare into this frequency for too long, you can see the true horrors of the deeper universe.
I like it.
Okay, what's coming next? You can come through now! What the? That's not one of ours!
Hey!
Come on, get out of here!
Wrong channel.
Oh, great. This guy. Say hello to UB Storm, but you can call him Nimbastro. I like to call him Asshole. Above all else, TV logos,
UB
scary
Storm?
movies, spiders. My biggest childhood trauma was lightning storms. Bear in mind,
Yeah, well,
I
yeah,
now
it's a
love
classic.
stormy weather. It's my favorite. But Kid Bludgeon was scared shitless over thunder and lightning. The only reason it took years for me to get over that fear and start appreciating some good weather is because my nightmares used to be haunted by a disembodied voice that would summon lightning storms in the middle of my dreams to punish and mock me. I
Oh, you
vividly
mean
remember
Zeus?
this one dream from when I was,
He was an asshole.
I want to say 7. I was stuck in the attic of my old house, but I was accompanied by this show on TV, which was exciting and colorful and, you know, it kept me safe. And then the voice ripped the roll of film away, taunted me for watching the wrong show, and then left me in the quiet room with a storm raging all around me. You know that spell of amnesia most kids go through? I never had that, so I still remember shit like this. As a result, I made this
So I guess
showboating
that's
son
what
of a
happened
gun
to
out of a
us.
storm cloud. I realized I was making too many humanoid Ultra Beasts, so Nimbastro was designed with a more animalistic approach. However, to
Yeah, I
reflect
can
the
see it.
showboaty attitude of the old storm voice from my old nightmares, I thought giving it ribbon-like limbs that drape over the cloud part of its body would not only give it a more solid form, but also give it a ringmaster or showman look. It'd look right at home next to
Oh, I can
Blacephalon, and the
see it.
typing is thanks to the sinister nature of the demon it's based on. Now, out of every fear that I've covered for all 10 of my Ultra Beasts, thunderstorms are the least scary to me nowadays. So I could have left this one out, but it was the perfect
Could've.
opportunity to
But
put
it's
the
not
disembodied demon into physical form, so I can have my revenge for all the sleepless nights.
Whoa, what the hell?
Geo? If you want to step away from this one, it's fine by me. No one will judge you. Are you sure?
I don't know the backstory of this.
Yeah, I know. This one involves the ocean. I won't lie, this one bothers me a bit too. We've been pretty goofy so far, so a very common fear was needed to round it out. drowning. It's one of those ways to die that's too
classic
unpleasant to think
feel.
about. Taking such a vital biological need and starving us of it in an uncontrollable, very claustrophobic manner makes me
Especially if you don't
hyperventilate
know
just
how to
thinking
swim
about
or
it.
float.
Drowning in the ocean, much worse. No solid ground for miles and miles, not to mention all the untold nightmares that live down there which could pull you under. What I'm saying is,
That's just
I'd
a
make a
squid.
crap pirate. Though I am oddly fond of pirate movies, be it Pirates of the Caribbean or Return to Treasure Island, especially a former. Davy Jones is one of my favorite
was
villains of
something.
all time. He's as fascinating as he is entertaining. So I'll put my hands, hand up and say I couldn't
Why
make an
are
ultra
you
beast that
missing an
captures my
arm?
fear of drowning and claustrophobia, crossed with the abominations of the sea without homaging
Oh,
my
oh
favorite
God, why is
villain
it-
that
oh,
covers
no.
all of that. That being said, I still made it my own thing. This is Phasmobius, aka
Ooh.
UB Constrictor. This creep from the deep is quite literally a
David
squid and a
Jones.
Japanese spider crab impaling one another to create a Frankenstein's monster mashup. As you can see, the tentacles are bursting out of some of the crab's limbs, while the working crab legs are skewered through the squid. The remaining legs can wrap around the front to keep its prey close, as can the tentacles that form its jacket-like skirt. And thanks to being
Nice.
underwater all the time, I was able to make it a more uniform color to draw away from the fact that it is just two dead sea creatures sewn together.
Oh my
Speaking
God, I
of,
see it
might
now.
be two sea creatures, but it's not water type. Phasmobius can just live in water as it kills others. Its constriction method is similar to Graplocked or my very own Kaijalash, hence the fighting type, and all the gunge on it is just like Skrelp and Jagaugi, as it's something you could definitely use in combat. That's why it's poison fighting. God's honest truth, this might be
is
my
definitely
favorite of
my
my
top.
Ultra Beast because I can very easily see it as its own character. Just give it a hat and make it a captain. It'd
And there
never
you
be
go.
as compelling as Davy Jones himself, but it'd be right at home with all my other misfits. Geo, where did... Oh, Geo, are you okay?
Did he pass out?
Sorry about that. If it helps, we've got one last fear to cover. And that fear is myself.
Wait.
How could I be more specific? The fear is who I used to be.
Oh,
My
a fear
biggest
of the
mistake
past.
was never making the effort to work hard at anything for over half my life. I was many things growing up, but the worst of it was how lazy and selfish I used to be. I'm so happy that I've been making progress and learning new things over the last few years, but I've held myself back for far too long. And
I mean,
nothing
most
reminds me
humans are
more
like
of
that.
that than this fucking sprite. Right here. Now let
What
me
is
make this
that?
clear because it's the last time I want to bring these up. It's not the fact that this is a Sonic OC, that's perfectly fine. It's not even the fact that it's comically endowed. What I hate about this thing is what it represents. It's the perfect depiction of who I used to be. An overconfident, self-absorbed, apparently horny, lazy slob who indulged in his own self-pity, thinking that my situation meant I didn't have to try and never needed to learn. Thinking of the
Legend?
way I used to cry for attention and expect so much of others instead of getting off my
Legend?
grumpy ass and do something for once and stop piggybacking on other people's ideas and just...
Thank you. That was getting too real. I mean, wow. Do we need a break?
Hate it, Geo. Hate it.
People change and improve.
Yeah, you're right. This is meant to be for fun. Sorry. Tell you what, I need to put an end to this childhood stuff and just move on, okay? But before we
Come
do,
on, show us
let's
the
turn
Ultra
this
Beast.
thing that I hate into something that I can be proud of. So clear off, you stupid set of pixels. This is UB Throne, also known as Nox Turlevane. My first idea was to
Ooh.
base this body shape on a virus cell, because let's be real, it's a
UB
virus on my
Throne.
mind. But to make it more interesting and less angular, I wanted to bring in the old sprite's most prominent features. The excessive hair and the chest. Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't want to say that out loud.
In
Personality-wise,
this
it
case,
gives
it's
off
eyes.
succubus energy because I wanted
Right.
to make a virus that was trying to be alluring and above everyone else. This gave me the idea to make it sit on a throne, but make the hair the throne. This was perfect because I could hide two of the virus legs inside the hair to prop it up, and then the visible
thinking.
ones could cross, giving it a sassy demeanor despite being horrible to look at. It doesn't have arms, but the hair can always be used to attack and pull enemies in. As for
Classic.
the chest, I had a better idea. Not inspired by Geo whatsoever, I promise, but big round shoulders helped break up the mass of hair covering most of its silhouette and makes it vaguely princessy. From afar, the hair throne and the shoulders could be mistaken for a gown, or the shoulders could be misinterpreted as, well, what the sprite was trying to do. But even better, the
Yeah.
shoulders, in air quotes, could open to reveal its disgusting eyes.
Oh,
To
God.
remind us that it
And I was
is in
right, they
fact
are
an
eyes.
extraterrestrial Lovecraftian hellspawn. Isn't it weird how my Halloween videos are more existential than anything? Well, that was the purpose
I
of these
mean,
Ultra Beasts,
that's just-
to bury the hatchet so I can move on. 10 heralds of harbored grudges for you to behold. All weird and wonderful, some of them punchable. Thanks so much
Not
to everyone
bad.
who stuck around. If you're looking for more Ultra Beast Fakemon videos like this one, this is indeed a follow-up to a video I made last Halloween. But even better,
I
my
did
friend Dead
react to.
Bedspread is doing his own Ultra Beast showcase based on his own fears. So please go check
Hold
it
on.
out. Happy Halloween, everybody, and until the next time, thank you all for stopping by. But with that out of the way, step aside, people. I have some unfinished business.
Kick some ass! Well, anyway, folks, that is going to be the end of today's video. I want you all to remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Down in the description will be a link to the original video, so remember to support the original creator and all they do. And I'll see all of you folks next time when we flick on. Peace out.